And this is back to where Dr. Naila, I've always said over the years, our people always claim they love Jesus, God, Allah, Yahweh, all this stuff. No, they don't. Rome is their God. They won't buy or sell without a license from him. Yeah. And whenever they talk about exercising right, the first thing comes in their mind, he won't let me move unless I pay him. He won't let me have my children unless I pay him. He won't let me cut hair unless I pay him. He won't let me braid my daughter's hair unless I pay him. He won't let me go across the street unless I pay him. That's their mentality. See, remember, most of that is mental. It's not real. But it's become our reality. It's called black culture, or quote unquote dead culture. And we have what? Cultivated it among ourselves. Our problem is that we're trying to get those who have courage or guts, and it's only a handful among us, to go with the rest of the civilized world and start rejecting Rome and stop trying to serve two masters. That's all it is. It really boils down to simply that. Because he has no power except what we keep giving him. In a political term, it's called they have no jurisdiction except that we give it to them. What is jurisdiction? The power to act, the power to do, authorized by consent of the governed.
We have two questions. Let me see. Here's one. I'm going to go. Oh, it's the same one from Rico Vasquez. If I am Aboriginal from the Atlantic Islands, Bahamas, and would like to nationalize, how can I nationalize if I'm under a different constitution?
The principles of the Constitution actually are universal. The principles, keep that in mind. The written instrumentality may be distinct to different political jurisdictions, but the principles behind that are ancient. And your different and keep in mind all of the Bahamas, or what you call any of the aggregate land from Chile to America, what is known as Americana, which is all of the islands of America. All of that is the Moorish Empire. To North America, to Greenland, all of it is. So all you have to do is start making your claim. See, the deal of it is,
I guess when they do the same paperwork, or
the principle can be the same. See, the nature. This is back to reversionary principle. They must know the absence of it has been one source. The operators and owners of foreign Europeans governing the territories known as the U.S. Corporation and Canada. Those are the culprits. You eliminate them, you've eliminated the problems of all America. All America's problems. Eliminate them, you've eliminated your problem. It's called decolonization. Multifaceted.
Here's a question.
Let's go. Also, let's go.
Can I give you this one last question? Please, they want you to address. Please address. Max says, please address the door knockers of the jab. Isn't it unlawful to ask of someone's status?
It's unlawful for them to even interchange with you with any sense of authority whatsoever. And for some of others here, let's just read the first paragraph of the United States Congressional Record. And this is back to the CEO known as Roosevelt, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Speaker, this is in 1993 on the floor of the House of Representatives. And this is James Traficant, representative for the state of Ohio in receivership, addressing the House of Representatives for the United States. Mr. Speaker, we are here now in Chapter 11. Members of Congress are official trustees presiding over the greatest reorganization of any bankrupt entity. Bankrupt entity. bankrupt entity in world history, the U.S. government. We are setting forth, hopefully, a blueprint for our future. There are some who say it is a coroner's report that will lead to our demise. It is an established fact. It is an established fact. It is an established fact that the United States federal government has been dissolved by the Emergency Banking Act of March the 9th, 1933. 48 Statute 1, Public Law 89-719, declared by President Roosevelt, being bankrupt and insolvent. House Joint Resolution 192, 73rd Congress in session, June the 5th, 1933. Joint resolution to suspend the gold standard and to abrogate the gold clause dissolved the sovereign authority of the United States and dissolved all the official capacities of all United States governmental offices, officers, and departments, and is further evidence that the United States federal government exists today in name only. Exists in name only. Exists in name only. What more do you need to understand what you're dealing with? That these people are imposters. They've been robbing you and taxing you unlawfully. They are insolvent.
So now they're trying
and de facto.
Take everybody out with them.
And we keep cooperating instead of clearing our birthright. And paying them for rights of travel that they don't have any authority over. So we keep giving it to them. But our people won't take the time to do a quo warranto when these people make demands, do they? Because nobody's telling them to do that. They're telling them to capitulate, which gives them, they've been buying time with ignorant and compromised people and then imposing it on the rest of us through force of arms. So the world is stepping in and stop buying the bonds. You see what's happening on the world trade? That's called a feedback loop. That's why all the banks have what you call zero or negative interest rates, because it can't go any lower. Now, this is back to the congressional records, you all. Please pay attention. This is not opinion. This is documented congressional record. It is an established fact that we must comprehend the distinction between real money and paper money substitute. One cannot get rich by accumulating money substitutes. One can only get deeper in debt. We, the people, no longer have any quote-unquote money. Most Americans have not been paid any money for a very long time, perhaps not in their entire lives. Now do you comprehend why you are or why you feel broke? Now do you understand why you are bankrupt along with the rest of the country? Federal Reserve notes, known as FRNs, are unsigned checks written on a closed account. Repeat, Federal Reserve notes, known as FRNs, are unsigned checks written on a closed account. Federal Reserve notes are an inflatable paper system designed to create debt through inflation, which is devaluation of currency. Whenever there's an increase in the supply of money substitute in the economy without a corresponding increase in the gold and silver backing, inflation occurs. Inflation is an invisible form of taxation that irresponsible governments inflict on their citizens. The Federal Reserve Bank, who controls the supply and the movement of Federal Reserve notes, has everybody fooled. They have access to an unlimited supply of Federal Reserve notes, paying only for the printing cost of what they need. Federal Reserve notes are nothing more than promissory notes for U.S. Treasury securities known as T-bills, a promise to pay the debt of the federal or to the Federal Reserve banks. There is a fundamental difference between paying, quote unquote, and discharging a debt. To pay a debt, you must pay with value or substance, i.e., you must pay with gold or silver or barter or a commodity. With Federal Reserve notes, you can only discharge a debt. You cannot pay a debt with a debt currency system. You cannot service a debt with a currency that has no backing in value or substance. No contract in common law is valid unless it involves an exchange of good and valuable consideration. Unpayable debt transfers power and control to the sovereign power structure that has no interest in money, has no interest in law, has no interest in equity, has no interest in justice, because they have so much wealth already by virtue of the fiat. That's congressional records. What more do we need to say to you to stop consenting? Anyway, thank you for sharing this evening with us at the House of Reawakening Minds.
You can talk about your T-shirt because they can see your T-shirt on the picture. They don't see you, but they see the picture.
See my T-shirt for the House of Reawakening Minds.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway,
we'll be making those available soon.
Yes.
Those who were here, many of you who were here on last Friday got your, not only that shirt, but our the Blood Don't Lie People Do T-shirt, which is another one. We have 2 T-shirts coming out, so we'll be putting that up very soon so that you can order your T-shirts.
Anyway, so tune in also. Tune in also, you all. Your continued support of the House of Reawakening Minds is greatly appreciated, and many of you who have been supporting us in spite of the infiltration and the compromised people that have been sent around us, we thank you anyway for helping, etc. So we can appreciate your continued support of the House of Reawakening Minds, and it's greatly appreciated. You can do so via PayPal.me, Naila Gilliam, Cash.me, $Reawaken. Checks and money orders payable to the House of Reawakening Minds can be sent to 602 Vandiver Avenue, Wilmington, Delaware Republic, zip exempt 19802. And also, many thanks to all of you who subscribe to Dr. G's new YouTube channel. Dr. G is official, and she has reached her goal of 1,000 plus subscribers needed in order to go live. So stay tuned, because we have a lot of good people who are coming on board, sharing with us their disciplines that in past generations has been suppressed, that are put in place and that are being restored to help uplift all humanity, etc. So we have a lot of good-hearted, not selfish people who are helping, and we thank them for coming on that new channel, etc., which we'll be talking about a lot of things, holistic, etc. And so stay tuned. Dr. G is lining up great guests for her exciting new metaphysical and healthy lifestyle channel, and many of you have already experienced some of that already, so we thank you and trust that we've helped some of you. And also I want to also give a shout out to good friends who have been sharing information with us, and some of more other information and history we'll be sharing to you for you. So shout out to a TT too. So we ain't forgot you, girl. We love you. Um, and for all of you who have been striving to help in the great missionary work of uplifting fallen humanity, props go out to you and many of your unheralded or unsung heroes out there who've been helping along the way to uplift fallen humanity. I say with that, have a grand evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you for tolerating our camera. I can see the camera here. I can see you on camera here, but for some reason it was not connecting. So we will get this figured out to see what was wrong. We thank you for your patience and your tolerance. I know some of the audio was off because when we clicked to try to get the camera right, it took the audio off. So we just went with, a picture. I had to get me off and get Red Sheik on there.
It's called censorship.
Yeah. Well, we did it. It happened. It's something happened in the camera. So I don't know if they're tampering with it or not.
It ain't been happening, has it?
I know, but we certainly do appreciate each and every one of you. And again, we have another event coming up. We'll be stay tuned for more information, but details. It's going to be on October 29th, and then we have another great holistic event the following day on the 30th with practitioners and so forth. That'll be coming, all kinds of things that you can experience on the 30th. But stay tuned for information for those that you didn't get, who were not able to come to the last up close and personal October. Mark your calendar for October 29th. We'll be back. It's going to be a little different for the next one. We actually have a topic, and we think it's a very good and timely topic that we want to discuss, and we'll have some
presented for the purpose of aiding and helping a lot of us, to go through this war that's being waged on humanity with a little more intelligence and a little more competent response. And so we refer to Constitution mainly because I want to make these points. You know how some of the social, economic, and political battles that you see taking place at Midgard, this is in many nation states. Although the spotlight is actually on North America via the Queen's two corporations, those corporations being the United States Service Corporation Company, which went bankrupt in 2019, and also with her other corporation that has the same international number known as Canada. Both of those political jurisdictions, corporate jurisdictions, have been operating for the last couple hundred years at North America, and for the most part have been misrepresented to the people to the level and to the degree that many people, as you already comprehend, it has taken them quite some time to wrap their heads around what we've been telling them for 25 or 30 years, that the United States is not a country. It's a private corporation registered in Austria, belonging to the Queen of England and the Popes of Rome, etc., and is part of their unum sanctum and dum diversas operations. And due to that fact, many of our people, in becoming conscious of their birthrights, and many people now are well aware, particularly the Asiatic African people, have been made well aware that many of their own assigned leadership, who have been teaching them that human beings were crayons, green people and purple people and white people and black people, are cognizant enough now to know that they were being lied to, not just by the hybrid Europeans who have been occupying the Maghreb, but also by persons who agreed to be monkeys, which is troglodyte nigger, from which you get the word Negro, etc., and nigger, which means Anthropopithecus, and Pongidae species, which is essentially gorillas and monkeys and chimpanzees. And these different terms have been applied to the Aboriginal and indigenous people and have been comfortably accepted by many of them, not knowing that these nom de guerre were designed to put them in a legal status of non-heritability. And of course, on many levels and over the last few generations, the economic injury has extremely manifested itself on extreme levels and bases in many areas. And so again, as we were talking about earlier, I wanted to go into Constitution because I know a lot of times when people make reference to the Constitution that was adopted from Muslim law or fatwa law by some of the hybrid Europeans who have been in agreement with Moors with treaties at North America and around the world and other geographical jurisdictions, i.e., that being the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, Treaty of Tripoli, J Treaty, many of the other treaties, etc., all of which generally are regarded under the major treaty known as the Treaty of Peace and Friendship between Morocco and the United States, and consists of the nature of thought of ancient government construction and allodial thinking harmonic with nature's God and nature's law that recognizes hominidae or humanity